1965 could be singled out as the turning point in modern football. It was this year that Carlton and Richmond began revivals, which in a few years saw them dominating the competition. Tiger legend Jack Dyer even took time out to show a couple of youngsters by the names of Kevin Bartlett and Michael Irwin how to kick a football. Melbourne's 10-year reign as a league power disintegrated and 3 clubs moved to new grounds: Richmond to the MCG, North Melbourne to Coburg and St Kilda to Moorabbin. In the Saints' first home match against Collingwood, a crowd of more than 51,000 witnessed the home team's 1-goal win. A huge attendance was also at Glenferrie Oval to watch Ron Barassi's debut as captain-coach of Carlton. The Saints continued their good form, and on the Queen's birthday round, they beat Melbourne by 10 goals, the first such hiding the Demons had suffered since Norm Smith started coaching the team in 1952. Not long after, following a loss to Richmond, the Melbourne committee stunned the football world by sacking Smith and replacing him with Checker Hughes. However, only 5 days later, Smith was reinstated, but the damage had been done and Melbourne finished 7th, the first time the club had missed the finals since 1954. By the end of the home and away matches, St Kilda had become the new glamour team and for the first time in its history occupied top spot on the ladder. In the second semi-final, the Saints held on to beat Collingwood by a point and St Kilda marched into its first grand final since 1913. The club also rejoiced when centreman Ian Stewart won the first of his 3 Brownlow medals. The 1965 preliminary final between Collingwood and Essendon was notable for 2 reasons. It marked the debut of Magpie ruckman Len Thompson and also saw the Bombers' John Somerville KO'd 10 minutes into the first quarter, an incident which spurred Essendon on to win by 55 points. In the grand final, Essendon jumped to an early lead against St Kilda, and a great third quarter in which the Bombers kicked 5 goals to 1 set up Essendon's 12th premiership, and the team became only the 3rd to take the flag from 4th position since the paid system of finals was introduced in 1931. 12 months later, the Saints received another setback in their quest for a premiership when in the last home and away match, ruckman Carl Dittrich was reported and was subsequently suspended for 6 weeks. But Ian Stewart buoyed confidence at the club by winning another Brownlow, and the Saints moved into their 2nd successive grand final, this time against Collingwood. In one of the most celebrated grand finals in history, scores were locked together for most of the afternoon, and at 3/4 time, the Saints led by just 4 points. The final quarter was nothing short of amazing. Collingwood's Gabelich missed an easy shot early in the term. Then St Kilda's Moran and Neal added 3 goals, and the Saints grabbed a 13-point lead. Collingwood attacked relentlessly, and after Pitt goaled and Tuddenham kicked a behind, scores were level with 2 minutes remaining. The crowd was at fever pitch, and when young Saint Barry Breen wobbled through a point, St Kilda was headed for its first premiership. In 1967, Richmond was the dominant team, and the Tigers scored the highest number of points since Essendon's total in 1950. Although Richmond trounced Carlton by 40 points in the second semi-final, it lost ruckman Neville Crowe for 4 weeks after he allegedly struck the Blues' John Nichols. Geelong was in great form and easily moved into the grand final by beating Carlton in the preliminary final, despite trailing by 37 points at half-time. After the interval, the Cats kicked 11 goals to 1 to set up a clash with the Tigers. This grand final, like the corresponding match the year before, was a beauty. During the final term, scores were level 4 times before 2 quick goals to Ronaldson and Bartlett broke the deadlock. And despite some desperate Geelong attacks, the flag was Richmond.